Okay, Battletech question. I don't know the exact battle number here, battle value number, but 4 or 5 assault mechs or like 20 to 25 light mechs. When you get hit by an assault mech, and I know these are two extremes, if we take something like an Awesome or an Atlas and throw it against a Wasp, Commando, or Locust, none of the fancy like Inferno round variants or crazy stuff that's out there, just stock inner sphere. Why would I want to take a lot of lighter machines? Do light mechs have a purpose if we're going head-to-head? If there's a primary attack role, obviously if it's a recon mission, if it's a cash and grab mission, if it's make it through a breakthrough type mission on there, yeah, lights are going to excel. Same way as if it's just an all-out assault mechs are going to excel. But if we're going head-to-head, why would I want to take light mechs when they can, in some cases, really be hit and crippled with one shot on there, especially if it's a leg and it goes into internals and crits are confirmed and you start cutting down on mobility? That's huge for light mechs. You can't take that. I'm not saying hit the ejection button yet, but things, you better be hitting that jump jet every single turn then. Piloting checks, possibly. That's huge because what protects light mechs, the speed, is the armor of the light mechs. So here's something to consider in the rules. There's this idea, and I'm going to kind of sidestep for a moment. There's this idea of stress points in a rules system, where every wargaming rules system, and Battletech is an amazing system on there. Every rule set has stress points, places in the simulation where things slow down a little bit, or it's unable to account for every single absolute scenario on there. Here's a great example from Warhammer 40,000. I love to play a Vindicator tank. A Vindicator tank is essentially just massive cannon, field gun. Think a massive tank destroyer type weapon. And you can be pushing your Vindicator up, and there's a building ahead, and behind the building is a bunch of infantry or maybe a tank, something you can hit on there. They're there. I don't have line of sight from the Vindicator, from the vehicle, but I can see the infantry on the table because in 40K, nothing's hidden. Everything's out there variable-wise. In the rules, I can't target that building. I can't shell that area and take out those infantry. I don't have line of sight to them. It's blocking line of sight. And that is an example of a stress point in the rule scenario, meaning if I was advancing that tank forward and there's a squad there of infantry with something that can take out my tank anti-armor, I'm going to stop, I'm going to put in some high explosive rounds, and I'm going to blast it on there. I'm going to light them up. But I can't do that in certain gaming systems because that would predicate this other set of rules and then to this, to that. So it's a simulation on there. One of the ways that Battletech stress points is the initiative system. And some of you play with house rules, and I'm not disagreeing it. I'm not in agreement. I like to play stock rules, but I understand possibly house ruling initiative system. If I take lots and lots of light mechs and I outnumber you, literally, in the initiative phase of activation, 1 or 2 turns blitzkrieg running forward, but then I'm going to get rear armor. I'm going to be able to bring all of my weapons, most of my weapons to bear. You're not going to be able to shoot at every single target. I mean, imagine if I have, and then this might be extremes, right? If I have 10 spiders, I don't own 10 spiders. I own 2. And I play them. It's a great mech. But let's say I'm a spider fiend. I own 10 spiders on there. I do own 8 locusts, though. So maybe we'll switch that to locusts. If I have 8 locusts facing you in your front arc, or facing their front arcs, maybe with a torso twist or coming in on the sides, your heavy mech can only fire at X number of them. You don't have enough weapons to go around. So that's an example. If you fire, you have to hit, you have to wound, you might take one out, you might damage it, but then Locust 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is all going to fire. The initiative system, the target acquisition system, the ability to fire at different units system, it starts to break down when you overload in extreme numbers. Battletech at best, and I love big games. I play big games. I will continue to play big games. I want lots of mechs on there. But Battletech is really a lance versus lance configuration. 4 mechs versus 4 mechs, maybe a couple of support vehicles, maybe some infantry. It's a small, it's not skirmish, but it's a smaller type game where the initiative is more back and forth, and if you lose a mech or two, now there's pressure. You're trying to be more conservative. You're trying to look through a breakthrough with the initiative system on there. But once you deliberately overload, we see this with infantry. Once you deliberately overload initiative sinks, it's very easy to win initiative on there. So light mechs versus assault mechs depends on the numbers, right?